Does the trash get swept out?
It does get emptied every 60 days.
Okay.
So it is good to keep an eye on that. If you have something there, like you move something there and go, oh, crap, I need it back, you can restore it. All right, so the next part is where all the fun is. This is the Canva Design Editor. So we're going to go in. So all of that I just worked with you on is just the dashboard of where you land when you first come into Canva. Now we're going to get into the part where you actually edit templates and work with your files. So this was a recent design that I put together to promote this session. As you can see, there's a bunch of templates that come up automatically. These are all recommended based on what other people are designing, what other people are using. But this search bar, you can pretty much put anything you want in here and it'll bring it up. So Canva, see, let's do a better one. So this is specific to Canada Day. Brings up all these templates that have to do with Canada Day. So the cool thing about this is when you click on it, it'll ask you if you want to add a new page or if you want to replace the current page. So I'm just going to replace the current page. So now it brought that design into that page. All of this stuff is editable. That's what makes it a really cool template, so that you're starting with something and you don't have to start with a blank canvas and try to figure out what you're going to do. No, it doesn't, Greg. So Greg asked, does Canva share your designs with other users? It does not. There are specific people who are Canva designers that their stuff is because they're actually paid to create those templates and then they're put into the template bank. So again, these are good ways to start. And this is your template section. You do have the ability to sort by colors if you've got certain colors you want to work with. And then you can choose the language if you were to need to do that. They also have these suggestions up here. Obviously, with Christmas coming up, there's all of these templates for Christmas. Now, right now, we are looking at Instagram Square because that's what I designed mine to be. So that's why all of these look like they're square. If I were to say, okay, I want to do a different size, that's where you could use this resizing tool. And you can actually choose how you want to resize it. So like, I want to change this to Instagram Reel, which is much taller. Do this. Now, it's not perfect, but it definitely takes a lot less time than me trying to copy everything over. Now I can actually move this stuff around as I need to make it work better. And as you can see here in the templates, it is now changed to the Instagram Reel size rather than the square. And so all of the templates over here are now that size. Again, there's a bunch of different suggestions up here. It's a great place to start. Okay, that one didn't have anything. Why would that be there? All right, so there's one that's quotes. And again, it changes these based on every time you click an option, it'll change that to be more specific. So that's under templates. Elements. These are things that you would bring in. So for example, this circle piece is an element. And again, you can search for pretty much anything you could think of that you want to have an element. There's a couple suggestions along the top again, but also you can scroll, like you can see what I've recently used. And then here's your lines and shapes. But if you just want to go into lines and shapes, you just hit see all. And now you're in lines and shapes. So you don't have to scroll to the right in order to see everything. You can just click on that. And to go back, just hit this here. And again, some of this stuff will change based on what season it is, what time of the month it is, what time of the year it is, all of that stuff. There is also video and audio options within Canva. I'm not going to go into that because, again, that is a much more advanced area of Canva. I think most people are more interested in the social media posting and stuff like that, flat graphics. But I definitely recommend that you go in and play with it. I mean, there's some really cool things in there. There's tables, there's charts, and then there's these frames that what happens is, let me go. See how it snaps inside the frame? So that way you don't have to try to make that a circle. It does that for you. So you take that frame, and it could be any frame, really. Let's see. Actually on that spread. And again, it snaps to whatever size that is. So it's a great way to be able to do cutouts and stuff without having to do a whole lot of work. And as you see, if you click on it once, it selects the image inside the frame. Click on it again, it selects the frame. So that's just something really cool to really quickly put something in a circle or in a shape, as Alan just showed. Again, that's frames. And there's like charts are cool. These are actually customizable, which I recently discovered that. And I did a presentation deck recently where I built every 5% for a graph. God, I wish I had known that was there first. That's a lot easier way to do that. So there's tons of stuff to come and play with, and just you click on it and it shows up on the whiteboard. Let's see what, so that's elements. There's a ton of different stuff under elements. These collections are literally that. They're just a collection of images that are put together. So if you did a search for like gym and fitness or gym, these would show up as a package. So they're just grouped together, and the styling's the same. And so it's easier to tell what they are. Let's see what else. And so there's a bunch of different collections. Upload. This is where you would upload images, photos, graphics, stuff like that that you want to use within your project. So for example, I uploaded my headshot to be able to use in this project. This is something else I was working on for this session. You have your images, your videos, and your audio. So this just, you can basically upload any of that stuff in this one place, and then you'll be able to find it. Text. Now, again, going back to the search function, you could search if you know a style of type or text that you want to use, do a search, and it'll help pull that up. This part here is a pro option because it's using the brand kit fonts, and you can change it between the two depending on which one you need. And again, that is a pro feature. Below that is all these different combinations. And not only are they fonts, but a lot of them have treatments put to them. Like you can see with Huge Sail, the top's filled in, the bottom's not. You pull this in, you can just change the word, and it won't change the styling. And you can do that down here as well. And it keeps the way that it's laid out. Now, it doesn't mean you can't edit it. There's all of this stuff up here I'll go into in a second, but you can edit the way that looks. And again, the ones with the crown are pro versions. But you can see there's a bunch of stuff in here that's not pro, but a lot of it is. And again, this is helping you not have to think from scratch how to design something. These are things that people, when they see it, will be like, okay, that looks good. And so it's a great way to start and then work around that with the template. For example, I was working and I said, okay, I want handwriting. So it brings up all the ones that are similar to people's handwriting. And again, these crowns mean they're pro versions. Just make sure there's. Yes. So Brian, I saw your question. Everything I'm showing you, I'm working in the pro version. That's why most of my crowns are not yellow, because if you're in the free version, they'd show up a different color. I'm looking back. Kim is crop photos into a circle. Okay, yeah, I showed that with the frame. After text, we're going to go into projects, which is basically your folders. This is where you can go into your specific folders that you set up and find what you want to work on. Okay, so at Dell, I'll cover that in 1 second. There's a reason why you can't see it. So if you want to create a folder, you just click on this, and then you can name it. And then if you have team members, you can actually invite those team members. So you can have folders that are just your own and folders that the team can see. And so if there's a project that the team's working on, you want to obviously set up a folder that everybody in the team can see. And then once you do that, your folders will show up here. And then back on the dashboard, you'll be able to see them there as well. So to answer Adele's question, if you go to apps, more from Canva, you will see text under there. The issue is that you can actually remove certain ones. And so you have to go to apps to see if you can add that back in. Let's see, we're in projects. Okay. So again, this is folders. You can also star templates, graphics, fonts, and then they would just show up in here. So obviously I was doing a bunch of stuff to promote this. The Canva logo was something that I had started. Let's see. And then as you can see, start now shows up over here because I clicked on it. A couple other cool, like photos is important. Let me go, let's see. Styles, that was the other one I show you. All right. So photos, there's a ton of stock photography in Canva that you can use. Again, look for the crown. If you're not on pro version, you'll see that there. And again, you can do searches for whatever type of photo you might need. And they give you the suggestions here. So you can see that each one of these tabs works very similar. They're just divided into whatever type of element it is. Styles is pretty cool. Styles are something that they have built where they can put stuff together and help you design. This actually takes the colors and the fonts and applies it. So you can quickly switch things around by just clicking on these styles. And again, you may look at that and go, holy cow, that's horrible, but it's a place to start. You can do it with just font sets, you can do it with just colors, or you can actually do it with a combination. So with the fonts, you just click on the fonts. It doesn't change any of the colors. It just changes the fonts. The colors, the opposite. It'll change the colors, but not the fonts. So that's a cool feature that I've enjoyed playing with, just to quickly be able to switch things around and see what other colors work better. Again, at the very top, you will see your brand kit information, the colors for the brand kit, and the font for the brand kit. This is always front and center so that it keeps you within what your brand should look like.